Okay, so let's start today's class. I am starting from the concept of LAN and WAN, and as the name says itself, LAN means that this is a connection that is locally distributed, that is on a geographically smaller scale. It stands for Local Area Network, LAN. That means that when I am refer to places which are in close proximity or in a closer geographic location. That means that I am going to make a LAN. What is a local area network? This is a network of computers. A network of computers, that means that, for example, if it is a school or a building, and if it has a lot of computers connected together that are geographically in a smaller region. This basically means that I have settled up a local area connection. A local area network is actually a network of computers and other devices that are connected within a small geographic area, such as your home, school, or a small businesses. You can even extend it as well by adding more number of computers, by adding more uh, switches or other devices as well. But one thing is going to be same, that it is going to be in a small area. Whereas when I specifically talk about a WAN, that is a wide area network, and as the name says itself, that right now here I'm referring to the network that is spread throughout whole regions, even countries as well. Like, for example, whole of a Dubai, or whole of a town or a city, maybe. So a wide area network is a networks of computers and other devices that are connected. However, they are in a larger geographic area. The largest example of WAN can be an internet, and first of all, you need to understand that if a user connects with another user, this forms a network. So if many networks forms with makes a connection with each other, they makes an internet. And so on, when millions of networks contribute with each other over a internet, that means that this is an example of a wide area network. A wide area network can even have multiple branches as well over a larger geographical area as well. And their both of their basic purpose, such as a LAN and WAN, basic purpose is to share data and resources. A local area network is a small network that is located within a single building or site. A wide area network is relatively a large network that is normally have two or more LANs linked together. Let's discuss some of the factors of LAN and WAN that we need to take into account. First of all, I have the very first factor that is considered as a data transfer rate. A data transfer rate means that, for example, if it is a LAN, now it is capable of a high transfer speed. That means that you can even send your data up to 1 GB per second. But when it comes to a WAN, you are restricted to a lower transfer of speed. Why is that, and how is that possible? Because in LAN you have limited number of computers since it is locally generated. But when I say about this WAN, so WAN means that I have a lots of computers at one place, and if the connection is on a wider scale, that means that all of the computers should be sharing the computer speed and resource as well. So this is the reason that they are restricted to lower transfer speed, and they are not less than 200 MB as well. The second thing, the factor that we need to consider is the data transmission errors, and in LAN we have a fewer errors because data transfer already is over a shorter distance. That could be a building or could be a small site. Whereas when it comes to a WAN, now you have a more number of users, so there are greater chances of errors that are occurred as the data is transferred over long distances. The third one is your method of connection. So your computer can be normally be connected by even using normal copper wires, fiber optics, or radio waves as well, or you can even create a mixture of all of these when I'm referring to a LAN. But when it comes to a WAN, it could only and only include copper wire, a fiber optics cable, radio wave, microwave, public telephone systems, leased lines, transmissions, towers, or even satellite as well. That means that a LAN has a limitation that it could make a mixture of three connections, whereas a WAN you can connect it with different and various ways because you are referring to a larger number of users. The fourth factor is considered regarding the security, and I would rather say that it is much easier for me to keep a small number of computers secure rather than relying on a more number of computers. So that's going to create my infrastructure even larger, and it is also going to create difficulties and problems for me for the security as well. So it can normally be kept more secure as small number of devices needs securing, and most of the security required is the responsibility of your network owner, is going to be the responsibility of your ISP. Who is your ISP? ISP is your internet service provider. Whereas within a wide area network, you need to be more suspectable regarding your security issues as more devices are connected. The organization would need to rely on the security measures as well, and they should be able, that means that they need to be able to control the security as well. They can add hardware, firewalls, they can add different layers so that they can protect themselves. The fourth concept is the ownership, and most of the network components and devices are owned by individuals or organizations so that they can themselves manage them and maintain them because this is a small area. Maybe a school or a corporate organization, whereas when it comes to a WAN, elements of the networks are owned by a third party, so they have to rely on the control and maintenance of others. So I hope that you don't have any queries. If you have, you can stop me anytime. I'll explain it back to you. The second concept right here is a virtual private network, also known as VPN. You might have heard about this, or maybe due to governmental policies, when certain websites are not working in Pakistan or maybe in other regions, what we do is that we use a VPN, a virtual private network. And what do is that this software changes our location. Like for example, I might be sitting in Pakistan, but if I disguise myself as I'm in UAE, so a VPN could be used. So individuals or organizations may want to access sensitive data from a remote location. A remote location means that they do not have to be certainly on that place. They are on a different place and they want. So in VPN, individuals or organizations might want to access sensitive data from a remote location. Remote location means that, uh, for example, if this is the first country and this is another country, and right now you are in another part of the world, right here, and you want to access the data which is at a different location, so that you do not have to be necessarily be right here. You can even access that right here with the help of a remote access or a remote location. So if organizations or individuals might want to access sensitive data from remote location to where it is stored, it is possible that they can request access to this data, and this could be intercepted by a hacker. So these security issues can be overcome by using a VPN, which is a virtual private network. To use a VPN, a user need to open their VPN client, and the software will then need to have to create the VPN. The VPN software is going to encrypt any data that the user wants to transmit before it is sent across the internet. The data is first sent to the VPN server virtual private network, and from here it is sent to its desired destination or location. That means that now your data is saved. Your data is first moving on to another location, and from that location it is being sent and received to you. That also means that your data is encrypted, your data is protected. However, when the data is sent without the use of a VPN, it could be intercepted by any user or any hacker, and the contents of that can be examined. So, in order to protect ourselves, we can use a VPN because it encrypts our data so it is not intercepted. And if the data is intercepted between the computer and the user and the VPN server, a hacker would not know the final destination of the data. That's what I was talking about, that it disguises your location, it protects you. Even if the data is intercepted between the VPN and the final destination, the hacker would not know who the original sender of the data is. Because, for example, if I am right here in Pakistan, I have my office in Dubai, and at my Dubai office, I want to look into my computer for the CCTV camera footage. So one way is that I can directly access my server. But I have a problem, and the problem is that a hacker could might intercept this connection right here. So as an alternate or as a solution, what I can do is that I can take a help of a VPN, and then with this VPN, I can access my file. So now, what happens even if a hacker or a data intercepts right here, he is not going to know the final destination because the VPN is a protected version of itself. It is going to serve as a server. And similarly, even if the hacker tries to intercept from right here, it would never know that from which part of the world I'm trying to access the location. So I hope the concept is clear to you. So a VPN server connects the rest of the internet on your behalf and adds a level of a security and privacy to your data so that it's beneficial to both to your individual and your organization as well. The advantages and disadvantages of a VPN can certainly be that obviously your data is encrypted before it is sent. The identity of the sender is kept private, like no one would ever know that from which part of the world from where the data is being sent and received. The disadvantages can be that in some countries, the use of VPN is illegal or controversial because people use them to create anonymous activity and even use them for criminal activities as well. For example, disguising themselves to be someone else. The security of the data is also relied upon the third party. And like for example, I have VPN with different companies. One of the disadvantages that if I'm using a VPN right here, that means that I am mostly relying on the company itself, like Norton VPN. This is a company, but if I'm using this, I'm relying on this company to send and receive the data, and the company itself can manipulate with the data as well because they have the ability as well. So the security of the data is also relying upon a third party and their ability to create effective software, and they should be able to maintain it as well. Often there are costs also involved whenever you are purchasing a VPN up to $10 or $20. And advantage that the maintenance of the VPN server is not the responsibility of the user. The user only has the access of that. It can turn the VPN on and use it whenever he wants. So I hope that you don't have any queries. If you have, you can stop me anytime. The next title is mobile networks. And in mobile networks, I am referring to a cellular networks. That means that are the SIM ones, right? Like in UAE, we have different cellular networks like Zen, STC, and I have Orange, different companies. So a mobile network is a wireless wide area network that uses radio to transmit and receive communications from portable devices like your smartphones. They are now considerably mobile networks now covers a considerable amount of the inhabited world's mobile networks are broken down into small cells, and at the heart of each cell there is a radio base that sends and receives the messages. I have different examples when it comes to a mobile network. I can give you, like we used to have a 1G network, then we have 2G, and we had 3G. Now currently we are using 4G and 5G. They basically provide us with faster capability like 1G network. This is the first generation of mobile network. They uses analog signals. 1G networks are almost limited to voice and text message as well. That means you can only call and you can only send a message. Whereas when it comes to a second G network now, this is the second generation, and now you can switch from either analog, or if you want to transmit, even if you want to transmit for yourself from analog to digital, and if you want to connect with each other, allowing a phone to use other networks as well, then I had 3G. Now 3G means that you have an increased data transmission. It allows you internet access, video transmission, online gaming as well. Then we have 4G. 4G is a relatively recent generation. It provides you with a better facility, better internet speed. You have video streaming facility, you have video conferencing facility, and then the fastest one is the 5G that offers you almost everything that a user might desire, such as your faster internet speed, faster capability, and all of these. I have some advantages and disadvantages of cellular networks as well. Some advantages can be that a mobile network have enabled users to communicate with others and access the internet while on the move. Disadvantages can be that quality can be very poor sometimes, and it can even lead to delays as well. Breaking the network down into cells allow for lower power radio transmissions to be used. It also brings energy and cost saving as well, because you are not using any electricity, you are not using any sort of water or anything that contributes to your environment. The disadvantages can be that the use of frequency must be carefully planned to avoid interference. Another disadvantages is that also can be that these phone interference also can cause diseases to humans as well, and their more usage can also lead to further problems too. There can be so many radio frequencies can be used for mobile communications. They can be splitted up. It's easy for us to communicate since they are radio frequencies. Disadvantage can be the technology of 5G is limited at present. Yes, definitely it is, because right now in Pakistan I'm myself using 4G. 5G is not available here completely, and this is also one of the costly methods as well. It also covers a large geographical area, and the use of multiple transmitters means that on the network is more robust. Transmitter means that every region, every area in our country has a network transmitter that is used for receiving and sending the signals. So I hope it is clear to you as well. If you have any queries, or if you want me to repeat any specific area, you can ask right away. So in 2 minutes, I am starting this 14.5. Okay, so let's start this 14.5. 14.5 I have is some network protocols. So first of all, let's discuss that what are protocols. BT protocols are a set of rules that the computer must obey before making a transmission. When it comes to network protocols, I have some examples. So let's discuss one by one each of them. The first one I have is the tunneling, and this is a communication protocol that allows for secure transmission of data from one network to another. It allows private data packets to be sent a public network through a method called encapsulation. Encapsulation means that you are transferring data packets. This is when a private data packet are made to look like a public data, so they can be sent across a public network. So tunneling is like when you are sending data from one place to another, but as the name says, tunneling, you are actually creating a sort of a tunnel. And why is that? Because there are some certainly your private data packets, but they are made to look like a public one so that they can be sent along the public network. So this is your tunneling. Tunneling is an important protocol used in a VPN because it makes us look like that we are from a different nation or a different country. The second one right here is an example of a secure socket layer, SSL. This is a network protocol that is designed to ensure connections made between your web clients, between your user devices, and between your web mail servers, so that it uses both public and private encryption as well, and it makes sure that your data is encrypted and securely transferred from one place to another. Among the example of an SSL, I also have TLS. SSL, TLS, both of them works in a single way, and you can change their nature as well. I mean, it's up to you that which you want to use, maybe an SSL or a TLS. They both provide you a way where you can encrypt your data. A TLS is again a network protocol that is the updated version of SSL. It uses more secure encryption. Fourth one is an IPsec. It stands for Internet Protocol Security. This is a network protocol that is again designed to encrypt and authenticate data packets that are sent across your network. This is also a part of tunneling in VPN. Another protocol that we can discuss in the transmission of data over a network is a BitTorrent. And BitTorrent concept is totally different. This is a communication that uses a peer-to-peer file sharing. Peer-to-peer means that, for example, if I am only sharing a file to someone and like this, peer-to-peer. Peer basically stands for friends, peer-to-peer like this. And when it comes to peer-to-peer, that means that I have no organization, I have no efforts linked into that. I'm just sharing the final files to you. So when it comes to a BitTorrent, one most of the important thing is that it is a peer-to-peer network. Second thing is that it allows the transfer of larger files such as videos or games, and it allows the distribution of downloading more huge number of data files over your network. So what happens in a BitTorrent that several sources or several hosts are collated to create a swarm. Swarm means that too many users are a chain of a users are created, and each host will be given a piece of the file. Like for example, if it has 10% of it, if it has 20% of it, if it has 30% of it. Now the whole of that, this is known as a swarm because all of them are contributing to one file. The BitTorrent protocol allows the user to join the swarm and download the file from the available host. Like for example, if right here this is me and I enter in the swarm, so it is the file is transferred to me over different sources and different hosts. The protocol will download the file in pieces from various hosts in the swarm. The protocol now at the end of that, it is going to rearrange itself from different pieces so that the complete file is built. Each piece of the file is protected to stop it from being modified by the user, and each user trying to download the file is called a peer. Like the one who is downloading the file right here, this is to be known as a peer, and each user that is providing and uploading of the file as a part of the SOM is called a seed. Like these, all of the number of people are seeders, seeding. I have other examples as well. Other examples like, first of all, this is an Internet Control Message Protocol, ICMP. This is an error reporting protocol that is used to generate error messages whenever you are sending or receiving messages regarding your delivery problem. Like you might have seen this, like for example, if I'm sending an email to someone and I have written down the email address wrong, and that email address does not exist, or maybe you send an SMS or email message on a phone to someone that the number doesn't exist, so you are received with an SMS that says delivery failed. Like these are the examples of this ICMP. This is an error reporting protocol that is used to generate errors messages that are transmitted to the sender while network problems that cause delivery. The second one is the address resolution ARP. This is responsible for translation of an IP address into a MAC address for a device. It is used in between your network layer and OSI model. The next is an inverse address resolution protocol in ARP. The protocol performs the opposite role to the ARP. It translates MAC address to IP address. The fourth is DHCP, Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. This is a network management protocol that is used to assign IP addresses to our devices on the network. That's it. You don't just need to learn all of the depth of that, but the basic concept should be clear to you that what do it do. Then I have right here is HTTP, and HTTP, as you know it already. HTTP as stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secured. It is a securer way, whereas HTTP has no SSL certificate. HTTPS is a secured one. HTTP, it is a protocol that is used for transferring the contents of websites across the internet. Whenever you type a website, it goes like https.www like this. This is a file transfer protocol. That means that whenever you are transferring files between your client and between your server, so what it do is that it is useful for transferring your files from your client to server. We also have Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, SMTP. So this protocol is used to send email from a computer to a mail server and between a different mail server. Like for example, I have my website named as Amazon. I am a user of Amazon. So that means that I'm going to have an email address like vamik@amazon.com. Similarly, you are right here named as Miss Amna, and you are from Yahoo company. So your email address is going to look like amna at their yahoo.com. Now what is happening is that this is a different server and this Amazon, this is a different server. Now when I am being connected to you, this protocol is making sure that our files are properly connected and sent to each other. Just after this, the next one is the post office protocol, POP. This protocol is used to retrieve emails from a mail server. When the user checks their mailbox, the email is sent from the server to their device. This is only for the retrieval. Internet Message Access Protocol, IMAP. This protocol is used to retrieve mails from a mail server. Then I have is a Telenet. It allows the user to connect remotely to the computer using internet. And Secure Shell, SSH. This provides you a securer way of accessing a computer over a unsecured network. So is there any heading that you want me to explain it back again?
No, sir.
Now, let's discuss some of the number of hardware components as well. Hardware components means that they are physical in existence. The concepts that we were discussing, they are only the concepts that or softwares that we use. Now, if I discuss regarding hardware, the first network hardware I have is a network interface card or a wireless interface card. You might have seen this as well. A network interface card basically provides you a connection, or let me show you right here as well that how it look like. Network interface card in a CPU. This one, you have might seen this. ये हमारे सीपीयू की बैक साइड पे लगा हुआ होता है, और यहीं पर जो है हम अपना वो लैन के जो केबल होता है ये यहाँ पे कनेक्ट करते हैं तो इंटरनेट चल जाता है। लैपटॉप्स के अंदर भी होता है ये वाला स्लॉट। This is located at the back of our computer system. Just as I connect my LAN cable into that, I am provided with the internet connection. This is the first component in an NIC card. An NIC card, this is also called wired connection, is that because it provides me with internet capability. And NIC is actually an electronic circuit board that is inserted into a device motherboard, like I showed you right here. This ये पूरा जो बोर्ड है ये डिवाइस मदरबोर्ड के साथ अटैच होता है। कुछ डिवाइसेस के पास ये हमारे पास ऑलरेडी बिल्ट इन होता है, एंड विच रिमूव द नीड टू हैव अ सेपरेट कंपोनेंट एज वेल। या कभी कभार आपने देखा होगा कुछ कंप्यूटर्स के अंदर सिर्फ लैन हो तो उसको हम चेंज कर देते हैं, उसको हम वायरलेस भी कर सकते हैं। इसका एक वायरलेस वर्जन भी आता है, उसके ऊपर एंटीना लगा हुआ होता है, वो हम अलग से कनेक्ट कर सकते हैं अपने कंप्यूटर सिस्टम के अंदर। लाइक नेटवर्क इंटरफेस कार्ड वायरलेस ये रहा राइट हियर। इट इज प्लग्ड लाइक दिस सो दैट योर कंप्यूटर इज ऑल्सो प्रोवाइडेड विद एन इंटरनेट फैसिलिटी। अच्छा, एनआईसी जो है हमें जब भी हम इसको लगाते हैं अपने कंप्यूटर से तो उसके कार्ड के साथ हमारे पास हमारा मैक एड्रेस भी आता है, लाइक दिस इज द डिवाइस दैट इज रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर प्रोवाइडिंग अस विद द मैक एड्रेस। When a manufacturer provides a device with a network interface card, it also provides a card with a media access control address. The address is unique to your NIC and is made up of your manufacturer ID and serial number. MAC address is used to uniquely identify the device and when it is connected to your computer. With cables, so it could be an Ethernet cable as well that could be connected to that. What is a network interface card? A network interface card is a network component that requires to attach a computer to a network. Then the second title is hubs and switches. So when you want to connect a lot of computers at one place, so there could be a problem that due to extra number of wires or extra number of computers, it might become messy. So one concept that we can use right here is this right here. Now what we can do is that we can plug each wire like this into a hub, and then again from this hub I can have a single wire that can be connected to my server or my internet device. Now what is a hub? A hub is actually a network component that joins together and forward data packets to a connected device. That means that if there are several number of computers, they can be connected with a hub. A hub is actually a component in a network where each device is connected using a wired connection. If one device wants to send data to another device, it will go via the hub. Hub is going to receive the data from the sender and send it to the device. This is a switch right here. Now,